Okay, thanks for joining us, everyone. My name's Amanda, and tonight we are going to have the lovely Lisa teaching us a bit about healthy families. Am I getting that topic correctly on,
Correct.
wellness for everyone, basically. So, Lisa, we are ready to hear what you have for us.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. Healthy families, happy minds. That's what we'll start with. So, the one thing we're wanting to, let's see if I can get it to go. There we go. The one thing that is always nice to understand is this is for everyone. I know it is back to school season for a lot of people, a lot of families, although it's probably quite warm where we live still, but it is about to be a change of seasons, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight, how that impacts our health. So just please remember that type any questions you have in the chat and anything that you want to take a screenshot of, please feel free to do so. We're just glad you're here. So when you think about our health and our family's health, we have to consider what is it that causes an impact on our health. And it could be some of these things listed here, but what changes? Maybe in the fall and winter, we sit more, we have less exercise, or maybe more screen time. There's also some additional impacts with social media if we're not outdoors as much. And all of these impact our immune system. So we want to talk about how we can be prepared in advance for these things. You've probably seen this wellness pyramid before. I just want to mention that all of these things are important, but the foundation is vital. Our nutrition and digestion are vital to have in balance and supported. If you notice on the right side of this chart, there's a vertical arrow, and you see it says lifestyle. Did you know that 80% of the health challenges that we deal with are impacted by our lifestyle. And that's often something we have some control over. So we want to really focus on this and not look for just a band-aid to what's going on, but let's get to the root cause and give our body what it needs to support us. And one of the things that we're going to talk about today is focusing on daily habits that we can incorporate with every member of our family. So you may be thinking, oh, well, I don't have young children. It's not back to school for me. But it is a change of season, and it's good to be prepared and thinking about that because that's the season when you have cold and flu come up and everyone seems to pass it around. So, what can we do? Healthy habits. Eating protein is surprisingly important. Did you know that? Because during fall and winter, we often increase our carb and sugar intake, and that has a drain on our immune system. We need protein to build and repair tissues. So this can also, eating more protein can also reduce late night cravings, and that just adds empty calories. Fruits and vegetables, of course, we're always reminded about this in the winter and fall, it's not as easy to obtain these. We still have our gardens coming in, so it's good if we can stock up on those things and maybe add them to soups or stir fries. Just remember to incorporate them even when they're not so readily available. Staying active, of course, even just a 15-minute walk a day is really helpful in getting that energy level raised because it promotes a healthy mood and gets our metabolism going. Scientists recommend some extra sleep. And when the days get shorter, they're progressively getting that way. It's really a good opportunity to reset our body clock. So during colder months, it's really a great idea. And I thought this was interesting because I haven't done it before. We always seem to have a certain habit of when we go to sleep, but try to go 30 to 45 minutes earlier than you normally do. And that really can help you when you're sleep deprived or boost your immunity so you're less susceptible to illness. And then it's really beneficial to eliminate stressors. Remember, we have a whole class on things that impact our sleep and our immune system. So eliminate those in our life as much as possible. And being aware is the first step. Many of you may have heard of EWG, the Environmental Working Group, and every year they put out a list of their dirty dozen. And you notice they have actually 14 things on here. They are the main culprits of pesticides in our food chain. And so it's not that we need to avoid eating these fruits or vegetables, but make sure we get them organic and pesticide free. And then the clean 15 are the ones that have the least amount of pesticides introduced into growing. So you can go to ewg.com and look up more information. They have a lot of research on this, but it's one of the lifestyle choices we can make and to be aware of, even when we're shopping before we bring that into our homes. Now, nutrient requirements is interesting. We all need vitamins and minerals in our daily intake. What we eat has a major impact on our health and our weight and our overall well-being. As we know, the typical American diet is full of processed foods that lack vital nutrients. So if you look at this chart, it's very interesting. It lists specific nutrient requirements that we need to have, and look at the column on the right. That column is telling us the average that in this country are not getting the percentage of below normal intake of these essential building blocks for our body. 95% don't get enough vitamin D, 94% vitamin E, and so on. So this is also from the Environmental Working Group, .org, sorry, not .com, ewg.org. So it's really important because this has a huge impact. If we're not reaching our daily nutritional requirements, it's going to have an impact, especially starting with our immune system, but leading to other issues. So what happens when those nutrient requirements are not met? Well, existing health conditions can get worse. We might lead to bone health issues or cardiovascular problems, hormone imbalance, and of course, our metabolism becomes more sluggish. So our body, in this case, would not be receiving the nutrients and the resources it needs to function properly. So while some food cravings could be psychological, a lot of food cravings result from nutritional deficiencies. And it's a subtle signal that our body gives us to nudge us and incentivize us to give it what it needs. It's just one signal our body uses to tell us we're out of balance. So then what do? Well, we really need to have a more balanced diet. And if we can't always be balanced in what we're eating, if we're on the go, we have a whole class about that. Let's make sure we do our supplementation. The VMG Plus is amazing. This contains, it's sourced whole foods. It contains a superfood blend, a bioavailability boosting blend, a cellular support blend. If you want to do a deep dive on this product, go to doterra.com and type it in the search bar. You will be amazed at the depth of research they've done and the powerhouse that this is. And all you do is put a little sachet in some water and mix it up in the morning. And you've got the nutrients you need, and it's bioavailable and it lasts all day. You'll notice a difference when you use it and if you forget. And what's interesting too is this is safe for the whole family. Our young ones can use it as well. So if you have children or grandchildren, nieces or nephews, you can explain that to them. Maybe you would give them a half of a packet or a third of a packet, depending on their age and size, but it is safe for the whole family. And of course, remember, we have our old standby, the Lifelong Vitality Pack. These three supplements are beautifully designed to do the same supplements to our food that we're eating. There's the vitamins and minerals, the omegas, and the alpha CRS for the cellular renewal system. That's a beautiful product as well. And there's some doTERRA blogs on this. You can look up what Dr. Brannick Rigg has put out about the alpha CRS and the benefits. He switches between the two sometimes when he feels his body needs it. So it's all about staying in tune with our body and giving it the resources it needs to boost our immune system, especially during the changing of seasons. This is some stunning statistics, I thought, and it's found on cdc.gov. 1 in 5 children currently or have had seriously debilitating mental illness. 40% of school-age children have a chronic illness, and those born in 2000 or later are estimated to have an 11 to 20-year decrease in their lifespan simply due to sugar and carbohydrate consumption. This really speaks to the sad American diet and not giving attention to our daily habits. So again, lifestyle plays a big part in staying healthy and giving our body real food and what it needs. And so this is something to keep in mind, not just for children, but it is amazing because their bodies are growing and building and they need this nutrition. So what can we do for our kiddos? That's really something that's easy and surprisingly tastes good. In addition to supplementation, doTERRA has designed an entire line of products around the amazing On Guard oil blend. This is a beautiful blend. It's called the Protective Blend, but it is a powerhouse. And we discuss this often in our classes and different angles that we focus on. But On Guard is a powerhouse for boosting the immune system. And so we can use it in cleaning our homes and also aromatically in purifying the air, topically on our bodies and internally. So let's just keep this in mind. And if you noticed, this month, it's the free product of the month. If you your doTERRA rewards order before Saturday, with 125 PV, you will get a free 5 milliliter On Guard. These are really beneficial to have around. You don't want to end flu season and not have these. So, internal use, you can use the essential oil. You can, some people are very hardcore and just put it right under their tongue. It's a little strong for me. I'll put it on my toothpaste, or I'll put it in about a ½ inch of water and just take it like a shot. I carry the beadlets all the time, so I can pop those in my mouth whenever I feel there's a need. And the throat drops I carry with me 365 days. They're in my purse. On Guard throat drops and the breathe drops. We'll get to that in a minute. Those are really helpful for when you're feeling a little stressed in your throat. Even if you feel you have to do some speaking or you feel hoarse, they really help. It's amazing. And the On Guard soft gels, you notice they're called On Guard Plus. That's because the soft gels have the oregano, melissa, and black pepper added to the essential oil blend, and that makes it a powerhouse. Dr. Hill has said that it's really beneficial to take these soft gels 5 days in advance of travel. If we're going on an airplane or on a cruise, or maybe we're going to be at a big event with a lot of people, build your immunity, get this into your system in advance, and it really gets you ready for the environmental threats that you might be facing. And then the Breathe product line. This is one of the other things to have around, especially at the changing of seasons. And again, I carry these all the time, the Breathe drops and the Breathe roller, because we have wildfires here in California. And it's amazing how often we have friends who are having respiratory issues. They're very helpful for that. And my husband has his own breathe stick on his nightstand, and I have one on mine. For those nights when you feel a little congested and stuffy, you don't want to be without it when you need it. It helps soothe and cool the airways. And internally, the throat drops. Keep them with you. They're super easy to carry and share. That's what I do often. People know they can come to me for either the On Guard or the Breathe Drops. Topically, both of these are beneficial. If you're traveling, they're super important to have with you. I always carry these, but they're helpful because they're easy to use topically. Just rub it on either one of them. The On Guard, put it on your spine, down your back, and on the bottoms of your feet. And the Breathe, roll it on your chest or under your nose. It's really beneficial because it gets right into your body system that way very quickly. Your body absorbs it and can use it. And then we do remember our kiddos. doTERRA has a beautiful product line of the essential oils blended for young ones. And Stronger is the one that is the protective blend for children. And that one, it's just diluted a little more. It has a few different oils in it than the On Guard blend, but it's for boosting the immunity. That's really helpful. And if any of you use these, I love Thinker. That's a good one. I keep that in my desk. And Calmer. That's really nice too. So keep in mind that we have all these tools to help our young ones support their challenges, especially going back to school and having some stresses, maybe a new environment or something. It can give them a lot of stress and anxiety. So it's nice to have something that they can use that's natural and calming. This might be your new favorite. They put it in a new container, the Breathe Stick. It's solid and it glides on real smooth, but it's not greasy. So that's really beneficial for us to use. It helps with, well, I don't know, probably a lot of us grew up with Vicks Vapor Rub and you put that, but it's petroleum based and you put that on your chest. It's amazing we survived our childhood, isn't it? You put that on your chest. This Breathe Vapor Stick, you can do the same thing. Again, maybe put it under your nose. It's really helpful. My husband uses it all the time and he loves it, but it's easy to use and it's not sticky and it doesn't leave a residue. But it uses the beautiful blend of the Breathe essential oil. For additional support, we could have a whole class on On Guard toothpaste. That is one of the best things you could do for your immune system is use On Guard toothpaste every day. And if you haven't ordered it yet, until you get it, put a drop of On Guard on your toothbrush when you're brushing your teeth. And of course, the mouthwash is so beneficial. The On Guard chewables is really amazing. This is made with zinc and vitamin C and D, in addition to the On Guard protective blend. These chewable tablets, they've done a lot of research and studies on. They've had significant studies over several decades showing the beta glucan that's in them is a natural prebiotic fiber that helps our body create a healthy gut microbiome. And it's an immunomodulator. It modulates our immune system and helps support it. And when they released this a few years ago at convention, they mentioned that it boosts our immune system for 4 hours after taking it. So it's nice to have these available to you, especially if you're going out, going to be with a group, or if you're just feeling a little challenged, like you've been exposed to something. So doTERRA's adaptive line is a beautiful line, and we'll have another class on this and the emotional oils, but just wanted to mention at this time of changing season, when young ones are going back to school or older ones are going to college or trade school or whatever, in the fall, there's a lot of new experiences and a lot of new challenges. So this is something beautiful because all of these, the oil and the soft gels or capsules, work through different pathways in the body to bring calming to the brain, which calms the nervous system. So again, it's nice to have this tool in our toolbox in order to help us face the challenges this time of year. Maybe you've seen the kids' oil collection, but it can be ordered, but they come in a nice kit. And if you see the little carabiners on there, they're little hooks that you could have them hook it on their backpack or hook it on a purse or a bag. They're easy to hold on to that way. And the brightly colored caps have a heart or a brain on them so that it tells us, young ones especially, where to use the oil and what it's for. And it's a way to teach them how to use natural solutions to support what they're going through each day. And again, we'll have a whole class on this. Don't forget all these beautiful oils. Think about how often you reach for essential oils for emotional support. We're talking about immunity and boosting our immunity and staying healthy through the changing of seasons, but our emotions have a huge impact on that. So if you don't use an emotional oil every day, why don't you start considering that? Whatever one you choose, it helps reset the body to balance so that it can absorb the nutrients that we're putting into it. And diffusing is a really super way to get these oils into our body. Even if you're dealing with a family member who says, "Oh, I don't believe they don't work, they don't help me." They get the benefit if they just diffuse. If you just diffuse around them, they're going to enjoy the smell, if anything. There's endless variety of blends. And so if you want to click on the QR code here, it takes you to doTERRA's ebook with over 100 different diffuser blends. It's available on the website if you search for it, but I thought it might be nice to have a quick link right here. And it's amazing the combinations you can come up with for different issues, whether it's health issues or just emotional support and calming. Beautiful, beautiful combinations you may not think of. So let's make sure we have these tools available to us so that we're prepared for the changing seasons and not using the toxins in our homes with our family and our bodies. Because then if we have healthy families, we'll be happier and their minds can function better, and so will ours. Just a reminder, next week we look forward to learning on cooking with essential oils, which Amanda will be sharing with us.
Thank you so much, Lisa. That was awesome. Those good reminders.
Yeah, we need reminders.
Yep. We were chatting it up a little bit on different things. I mean, I would
Okay.
ask on your point of proteins, because you said we need protein. A lot of times I think people fixate on meat as the only source of protein. You need to diversify it. So I was going to say, what do people use? What are you guys using for adding protein to your diet? Is it just meat, or are you using different sources? Any
Yeah.
any brave souls? Marva, what are you thinking?
I, excuse me, I like to take a spoonful of almond butter on a daily basis. If I can't get to my eggs the way I like to. Speaking on the VMGs, I had learned through Justin Harrison, I believe it is.
Mhm.
He says that the portion that they have is made for a 150-pound person. So if you take the VMGs and you have children, yes, you can make it and split it up between the two of them. But if you're heavier than that, then you can take a portion plus another teaspoon or another tablespoon. And I know PJ Hanks says she takes one packet in the morning and one packet in the evening.
Yeah, she's pretty intense with her supplementation. She's really good about that.
Mhm.
Yeah, for supporting your body, especially too, if you're taking the vitamins, you should be eating, with taking all that. I mean, some people like to do vitamins on empty stomach, but your body needs something to kind of roll them around with and cook with them. So the almond butter is good. Eggs are good. We do a lot of tofu, and we buy organic tofu. So there's vegetables with a lot of protein. So diversify and make sure you're spreading it out. And like you're saying, Lisa, a lot of good ways to get vegetables into our diet, whether you're doing salads in summer or you're doing big soups in winter. Just make that as the
Right.
base, that's to the point you're talking about with lifestyle choices. No one's going to make you eat good. You have to do it yourself. You have to make those choices. So it's not always like the funnest, and I'm guilty of that sometimes, but you're
It's
the one.
not easy.
No, but you have to make the effort. And you're right, the organic produce, if it's $1 more, if you can do it, because it's, a lot of things are really toxic out there right now. So as much as you can kind of push towards the goal line a little bit more with health, it is important.
Well, and I appreciated that list because it helps us be aware of what vegetables and fruits maybe by the way they grow, they're trapping those pesticides.
Yeah.
They're in the environment we know, but like strawberries, for example, they have all these tiny little pockets, so they're definitely going to grab a lot more than something with a smooth skin. So anyway, it's just eye-opening.
Yeah, it is. I mean, and you can go down the rabbit hole and you can freak out over it, or you can just make best choices. If you have local farmers markets, that's always going to be a really nice way to get good organic produce, because the grocery stores, I was in a store the other day and all the organic produce was pretty much empty. It was really weird. So there's a lot of weird news about the produce industry. So I mentioned too with the toothpaste, we're talking about the On Guard product line. Get kids off of the garbage, the Crest and all that stuff, all that fluoride, that's so bad for them. So if you have kids, grandkids, don't even buy that stuff. I mean, there's that, all those toothpaste are geared towards kids are garbage.
They have warning labels.
Yeah.
Do not ingest.
Yeah, they're not going to get sick from the On Guard or the Supermint. I know some people say, "Oh, well, it's strong." Yeah, we'll use a little bit. It doesn't need to be a giant gob of it.
Right.
So, Dee asked about how many On Guard soft gels to take a day prior to traveling. I said one morning, one night to kind of boost up, but I would also be mixing in the tabs, especially if you're not plain.
Chew them.
Yeah, tuck one in the corner of your mouth, because with the zinc, you want to give your body time to absorb it. So tuck them in the corner of your cheek, and you can do up to 3 a day, especially if your immune system's fighting. So having them with you is important. So
I use them like candy when I'm traveling.
It's going to be bad. Hold on. I'll be back after the sneeze.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's just toying with me. It's not going to do anything.
Okay.
It's right. It's that reticle right there. It's not a pick, it's a scratch, folks. Okay. So let's see, and talk about the emotional oils. I was saying I've gone back to Motivate. Motivate's a great oil to use during the day.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, Cheer is pretty. Cheer reminds me of a lemon cookie. Motivate smells to me like again, I get chocolate notes on that. Peace, great for sleep. Console, I kind of keep on the back burner for when it's real serious. That's when I'm like, all right. When I've come across people who their grief is so deep, Console's a great one for that. So, and Breathe.
Yeah.
And to the point you said about keeping the drops with you, the On Guard and Breathe drops, my purse is full of those things, because we're always in meetings or different events where you have that stuff. So Kathy mentioned whey protein, fish, cottage cheese, and beans. Yeah, we do a lot of beans, lentils. Be creative. Look at the different protein levels of different legumes. Broccoli has a lot of protein. People got in this mindset they had to have a big steak for protein. There's so much protein, because big slabs of meat are really heavy on your body and they're rough on your digestive. So once in a while is one thing, but spread your protein around, folks. So, and then let's see. before flying. Kathy said put some correct X in the nostrils. I have heard that before where people said just on the pinky and up and in, and that helps because all that nasty air that gets refiltered around. So,
Yep.
and Dee said she thinks turmeric smells like chocolate. You're you're on your own with that one, Dee, but thank you for that contribution. So, okay, so if there's no questions, I think we did pretty good. So I'm going to say we're going to do the prize wheel.
Would you like to know what it is?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you who may not have used it yet, the Stronger roller, that is a beautiful blend, and it's formulated for our young ones because it's mild enough, but it's still beneficial. So even for us adults.
Okay, so I'm checking this real quick because I'm
Okay.
distracted. Hold on. So Myra got our last week's gift from Jen. And sorry, I'm thinning it out a little bit, folks. All right, I think we are. And Diana, you won recently, so we're going to a few less names. No offense, but we got a 3 for here. We got a 30% chance of success for those who have not won recently. Does that sound right, Lisa?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so let me jump back over here and we're going to share. And by the way, I was just telling Lisa, I just did a Zytoscan and I scanned for Stronger and I pulled that out. I've been rolling that up and down my spine. We're hearing people coming down with the C word again. It's coming back around,
Yep.
which is now like the common cold. So
Yep.
get ready, folks. Use your Stronger.
Yep.
Okay, can we see it?
It's coming. It's coming. We don't have it yet.
Wait for it.
We're waiting. There it is. Okay.
Ta-da! All right, here we go. Spin the wheel. And we got Marva with some Stronger.
Whoop,
Hooray!
Love it.
whoop.
You know, too, I will
Thank
say,
you.
oh, you're welcome. Yeah, Lisa, thank you for that. I will say Stronger is a gentler scent for those who maybe
Yes.
don't love On Guard. I love On Guard. I'm diffusing it right now, but Stronger is just it's a little twist. It's a little tamed down. So if you're in an office setting too, it's not as bracing as On Guard. So
It's just good to keep all this in mind because we are coming up on the change of season, and it's amazing when kids go back to school, how all of a sudden everybody starts getting sick.
little germ monkeys. Yeah.
I don't know. But they're all enclosed spaces, which they haven't been all summer. And then, we go
Oh, they're
back.
licking their hands or touching everything. They're sticky all the time. That's just, I
Yeah.
had a day full of kids. I dealt with a lot of kid stuff today. So yeah, we know they're
It's a
gummy.
real thing.
Yeah, they're gummy a little bit.
So just be prepared. You don't want to start coming down with something and not have these in your home. That's all I'm saying.
Start building your system up now because as soon as the weather turns cold, people start going in, closing the doors and turning the heater on. It all starts blowing around. So
Yep.
be strong now, folks. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.